Hi, Dr. Lori Puskar here. We're going to talk about your health, your immune system, 5G, and a lot of questions you have about what's going on in the healthcare scene and what you can do about it. So let's talk about the overview and what we're really looking at here. So first and foremost, I'm the world's worst drawer, so here you go, a stick man. So here's you. And you look pretty happy, but with everything that's going on, things can definitely be better. Probably a little bit concerned and or worried, and what we really want to do is minimize the worry. So the more information you have, the more positive you can be, the more you can stay chill, and we're all going to get through this together. So I've been asked as a healthcare practitioner, how bad is the immune system situation, and how much do I have to worry? And is this really a 5G thing? And could it be this? And could it be that? And there's a lot of questions and concerns, a lot of conflicting data, and a lot of, unfortunately, what I'm seeing is a lot of people are getting their education from what I call Facebook community college. Not exactly the most reliable source of where to get your information. So as a doctor, I'm going to try and give you some sane and logical information that makes sense. It's how the body has always worked. These are universal truths. They've always been true. They will remain true. And these are the things you're going to need to remember during this time. And then once this crisis is over, you're going to need to remember these things anyway, because what we're talking about is how a body really works. So here you are, you're pretty happy, and you could be more happy. So let's talk about what you need to really take a look at, what you should be concerned about, and where you can be causative over the current situation. So the first and foremost what you have here is you again, and you're pretty happy. Now here's the absolute. When it's all said and done at the end of the day, what you really need to know and understand is who you are right down to your DNA. So if you haven't had your DNA profile done yet, I would highly encourage you to do that. We're not going to be discussing about the DNA for this particular video, but let's just assume you are you. And we can all agree, regardless of your DNA or you've had your DNA test done, is you're pretty much who you are because of who you are because of your DNA. And that's not going to change regardless of what's going on in the economy, in the financial world, in the immune system world, with the viruses, diseases across the globe. So you, as a constant, will always be you. So what we have is you, pretty happy with your DNA profile, and that is really the starting point. This is the foundation of who you are. Now, what we have is the different things, and we're going to make these concentric circles, that where you're running into trouble, and the secrets of the things you need to know about how to be healthy and what you need to do. So it starts with food and diet. So the most important circle, the one closest to you, the most important thing about you is your DNA. But then when you start putting these kind of in priority order, what's the next thing? So let's take a look at your body like it's a machine. You probably heard me talk about this before. Again, I'm not here to play down the body. I'm here to help you understand how a body works. A body is basically a machine. And a machine has different parts, and these different parts require different fuel sources and oils, lubrication, and things to make them work and function properly. Well, your body is no different. And your food and your diet is the key sources of how you get external nourishment into the body to get your machine to work correctly. So a lot of my patients are asking, and people on the street and Facebook posts, etc., is like, Dr. Lori, what do I need to do for my immune system during this time? And the answer is you need to keep your machine running at peak performance. And how do you keep your machine running at peak performance? You feed it well. So again, you hear in the news, and I'm sure you're aware of, antioxidants, good quality fats, protein. These are more important now more than ever before, because people keep talking about boosting your immune system. Well, what is your immune system made up of? It's made up of the nutrients or the calorie that you give it provided in your diet. So if you want to boost your immune system and have your immune system working at peak performance, you need to give it the raw materials. So this would be like taking a whole bunch of people and sending them to a gunfight without guns. Well, you're not going to win. So the biggest thing you can do now in the current situation and in the future is you need to provide your body the nutrition via the diet and the foods you eat in order to give the body a fighting chance. So it doesn't magically come out of nowhere, it needs to come from somewhere. So the most important thing is eating good quality foods, and of course, skipping the sugar. Sugar is one of the worst foods there are. It's not been made to be eaten the way we're eating it. It's not made to be eaten in the quantities we're eating it. We have never had so much sugar and refined carbohydrates accessible to us as a people in all of history. And it's really getting down on this machine again. It's really wreaking havoc on it. So sugar flat out suppresses the immune system. And a lot of people watching like, I don't agree with that, or I don't understand how that can be. And it's like, well, again, if you want to go to the gunfight, what sugar does is it doesn't provide you any guns. And unfortunately, it actually takes the guns away. So you want to go to a gunfight, then you need to bring your gun. How you're going to do that is with the nutrition that you're eating. How you're going to not do that is you're going to prevent the gun or the gun truck, so to speak, to come and provide the ammunition that you need. So this is what we need to take a look at. As I'm sorry to say, as always, it comes down to your food and your diet. Now there are other contributing factors, and let's talk about those. And the next one we have here is vitamins and minerals. Now, this has to do again with food and diet, but unfortunately due to the quality of the foods that we have access to in this country, you may or may not be ever able to eat enough food with the most proper nutrients in it because of the quality of the food sources that we have access to are substantially depleted. So the average orange, about 100 years ago, had about 50 milligrams of vitamin C per orange, and today it has less than 5. So now, in modern day, you would have to eat 10 oranges to get what you used to be able to get about 100 years ago. So this is a universal truth for most foods, just using the orange as an example, is that you have somewhere between 1/10 and 1/20 of the nutrition that you possibly could not sit down at any given meal and eat enough. So you are going to be, without a doubt, absolutely vitamin and or mineral deficient. So you do need to take a look at nutritional supplementation. So if you're not doing that already, the next thing you need to do to protect yourself with everything that's going on is having yourself on the proper vitamins and minerals. So there is definitely certain foods that contribute to the immune system, and also certain vitamins. We all know vitamin C is a good example of that. However, remember, we're talking about this thing called the immune system. And interestingly enough, it's more of an alliance in your body. It's different body parts who come together to fight the good fight. Just like in a battle or a war. It's not one guy who goes and fights the battle. There's many people who come and make up the front line. So what we need to do is, again, from talking about an ammunition, what you're not going to get out of your diet, you actually have to get out of nutritional supplementation. And again, vitamin C, definitely one of the more important ones. But the thing is that all of these vitamins and minerals have a co-relationship. So even if you're gobbling down, you might be already 5,000-10,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day, what you're going to do is create an imbalance because vitamin C does not work alone. You are going to make yourself deficient in other things such as calcium, copper, and zinc, just to name 3. There are other vitamins and minerals that are going to go deficient. So what's more important is if you're going to increase any one vitamin or mineral, you have to increase them in the proper ratio to each other. Otherwise, the 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C you're gobbling down right now to try and protect yourself from everything that's going on is almost going to be virtually useless. The other thing, and we're not going to get into this on this video, is the quality of the vitamins and minerals you're taking. Realize that vitamin C in mega doses such as that, if you're taking that, is in the form of ascorbic acid, which is the incomplete synthetic isolate from the vitamin C complex. So this would be like looking at a watch and deciding that the sweep hand is the most important part of the watch, and then eating or taking 10,000 of those per day and not doing anything or having all of the other watch parts. So it's a very inefficient, a very incomplete way to get there. You're better off with a well-rounded multivitamin and or vitamin C complex. So we'll talk more about how you're going to get that, where you can get that in a little bit. But the next thing here is what you're looking at is in order to protect you. Number one, it starts with your DNA. Number 2, it starts with feeding the DNA in your machine properly with the best quality diet and foods. And then on top of that, kind of the next layer up of what you do, just like when you're building a home, you have layers of protection. You have the foundation, and then you have the studs, and then you have the insulation, and then you bring in the drywall. There's possibly plaster, and then there's paint, then there's furniture. Can you see the layers? Well, your body works and operates the same. So right now we're showing you, quote, how to build your own home, and we're doing it via the body. So the next thing here is vitamins and minerals. Then the next thing you're going to be looking at is now that things are going to work against you. So again, when you're asking about, am I going to get the virus that's going on right now? It's like, well, maybe. Because even if you're doing these first few circles, you still might be being exposed and or have too much chemical and metal toxicity in your body. So either this is something that's currently a situation and you're currently being exposed to, and or this could be something from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Who knows? But heavy metals and chemicals in your body will suppress your immune system. It will cause your machine to not work at peak performance. It will clog up certain organs and systems so they can't work at 100%. So let's say your poor liver is supposed to be metabolizing and filtering out the debris from the virus situation that we have right now. And let's say you're very high in chemical poisoning and or toxic heavy metals. Well, your body's ability then to filter out the debris and keep the internal system clean so that if you were exposed to the virus, your body could properly handle it, your chances are going to be probably at least 50 to 75% less. So one thing and another thing you have to look at here is your risk factors of how much chemical poisoning and or heavy metals do you have already. So you're going to see how this is going to play out. And now, as you can see, it's not so simple as like, oh, I'm worried about my immune system, let me just gobble down a whole bunch of vitamin C. That is one very small part in the equation. What the beauty of anything in life is having all of the key parts working together in the correct ratios and properly is how you get the magic remedy of any kind of protection from an immune system situation or diabetes or heart disease or any disease for the most part. So this is applicable not only again to what's going on now currently, but also what you're going to be seeing now and in the future with your own personal health. The next thing here then we have is the immune system now itself. So remember I said the immune system is not really a system, it's actually more of an alliance. What happens is that when your body is exposed to something bad, again, just like when we talked about in a war or battle, the enemy is coming. So what do you have to do before the enemy arrives? Is you have to hurry up and get your artillery and your cavalry and the pioneers and the front line all together. So your soldiers, your commanders, everybody needs to like hurry up and get in place. Well, that's what your immune system is having all of your organs and systems kind of coming to the call. So your immune system is made up of some more key organs such as the thymus and the lungs and the chest. You also have the spleen, the liver and the kidneys are the filtration for all of these immune system particles. And then you also have other organs and systems that have to be working. So a strong heart and an intestinal tract that's properly digesting and absorbing the nutrients. So you can see now if you had a compromised immune system, you might have other situations going on. Maybe your immune system is suppressed due to the chemical and metal toxicity you currently have. Or maybe you don't have enough vitamins and minerals for your spleen or your thymus or your lungs or your digestive tract, as we just mentioned, to not work properly in this immune system alliance. So possibly the reason is a vitamin or a mineral deficiency, and or possibly your diet. So you can see all these circles build upon each other, and if you have a weakness in any one, it'll totally collapse and compromise all of the other layers. So the immune system, though very important, is made up of, on a foundation of these other things. So everyone now, with what's going on, is trying to put the immune system in first place. The immune system cannot be put in first place. What is in first place? The answer is your DNA. Who you are genetically is where your biggest strength is going to come from. Then once you have your DNA and you have the foundation and an understanding of who you are, the next thing is then how do you feed that DNA machine? So the next most important thing to protecting your immune system and having this immune system alliance working towards you is having and eating the correct foods. And then kind of topping that off in case you can't get 100% nutritious food, taking nutritional supplements, vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, etc. And then decreasing your risk of exposure to chemicals and metals, because the more chemical and metal toxicity you have, then the more your immune system is not going to work. Okay? So then there's a few more that are just important. Now, things that will attack, as you can see the purple now, the things that will make all these other things not work well is, again, heavy metals and chemicals, and then also where are these coming from? So your air quality and your water quality. So if you're drinking poisonous water, if you're drinking contaminated air, these two things suppress immune system, because the immune system is going to be preoccupied by trying to make sure that your body's functioning correctly over top of possibly having this air and water situation. If the immune system cannot call upon your diet, your vitamins and minerals, and your DNA to go and do a better job of it, you are going to have a compromised immune system. So you can see now this immune system can be deficient and or not working properly due to the three before it. And then it also has some attack coming from the outside in the form of air and water. So how much of a foundation you have built for the immune system, and then what are the other factors that can get you in trouble from the outside. And then the last one we're going to talk about here, because this was in the title and a lot of people are asking, there's a lot of conspiracy theories now. And regardless of what you think of 5G and or EMF in general, and whether you think possibly it's the real reason for the immune system crisis we're not here to argue that point. The point is the two affect each other. So if you are exposed to high 5G or high EMFs, whether that be Wi-Fi routers, too many cell phones, you live next to a nuclear power plant, I don't know, whatever the case may be, if you have too much 5G radiation, electromagnetic fields in your environment, guess what it does? It suppresses your immune system. So you can see now it's all of these concentric circles working together when you really want to ask yourself, am I safe from the current virus or an immune system situation? Will I get it? My question to you is, how do you score on all of these other 5 areas? How is your diet? How much sugar are you eating? Do you know what your DNA profile is? What are you doing about your vitamins and minerals? Now, the thing is too with the vitamins and minerals is a lot of people are trying to take it now. The time to boost your immune system and have the vitamins in your system was about 1 year ago. So you're not going to be able to play catch up all that great now that the crisis is here. So it's the whole ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Everyone's now trying to cure the situation with gobbling down thousands of milligrams of vitamin C. And the time to actually boost your vitamin C levels and get your immune system working at peak performance was about 9 months ago. So you will be able to do some temporary measures and some herbal tinctures, and I'm sure a lot of you are doing and trying the elderberry and the vitamin C and some other things, and trying to keep your house very clean from a toxic standpoint. But realize a lot of this might already be in you. So another way that this gets you into trouble, especially with the 5G and the EMF, those two things, though, are dangerous. They're not the most dangerous as an individual and isolated component. They're only bad because they work in the calculation, as you can see here, of the comedy of errors. So let's say if you had perfect air and water, a perfect immune system, perfect system where you had no chemicals or metals, you had the perfect levels of vitamins and minerals, and you ate the perfect diet. My question to you is, would 5G and EMF harm you? The answer is yes, but to such a small fraction, you would not see any of the deterioration or damage that they're talking about. Can you see it's because you have these other areas compromised that the 5G is now a dangerous thing. So does 5G and EMF suppress the immune system? Yes. But if I had my foundation built, what percentage or how much would it affect it? Probably not very much. So this can cross along all of the circles, but what you want to do, just like in a home, is have protective barriers. So the elements outside, such as rain and snow and wind, cannot get into your home because why? You have the outside, which possibly is brick. Then you have the foundation, which is usually cement. Then you have the interior of your walls, which are wood studs. Within the wood studs, then you also have insulation. Then you put up the drywall, then you possibly put up some spackle or paint or whatever kind of finish, and then now you have several layers of protection against the element. So the elements out here, if you want to protect yourself against the elements, it starts with building a better foundation on the inside. So all of these things, unfortunately or fortunately, directly and indirectly affect each other completely and wholly. So the core of the thing is you, smiley face again, is having your DNA, knowing your DNA genetic profile, knowing your risk factors for all of these other substantial external factors, and then eating the correct diet and having yourself on the correct nutritional support. Not only for just general everyday support purposes for your immune system and your other things, but also to feed your DNA and your genetic profile at the best you possibly can. The idea is to then detox yourself from chemicals and metals. A lot of you are probably going to get the virus because you were already so toxic to begin with. How many? I have no idea. I don't know you. But the thing is the more toxic you already were getting into this situation, the more and higher risk factor either you are at or you're already at. The same is true for the air and water. So the more you're suppressing the immune system, the more you're going to run into an immune system situation. The other thing about the 5G and the EMF is what they do, and when you're talking about the inner you and foundation, is the more metals that you have in your body and some of these really hazardous toxins, you act like as an antenna. So you have all these metals floating up and down in you, and then what is 5G and EMF attracted to? Some polar, some grounding source, right? So that's what makes this even worse, is as these EMF waves are coming your way, if you have a lot of metals in your system, this is going to get stuck in you. The less metals you have, the more the EMF is going to pass right through. Now, it's not an absolute because there's plenty of studies that 5G and EMF is damaging no matter how perfect you have your life. That doesn't give you excuse to now go eat sugar and just quit and not even try. Because what they have substantiated is that these electromagnetic fields are so dangerous that the human body was not designed to protect itself against it, that it can go down and destroy the DNA. Now, if you are on the correct diet, vitamins, and minerals that provide the protective coating around your DNA strands and around your cells, again, just like the home and the insulation, the chances of the 5G and the EMF harming you are going to be less because you have your food and diet in place and you're on the correct nutritional supplement to provide the protective barrier. Then what you would need is also remember no chemical or metal toxicity inside these cells, because the more this affects you, even if these two are in place, if you have a lot of toxicity, you're back to being a human antenna. So this will definitely cause a compromised immune system and again put you more at risk. So I hope that helped you out in getting a better understanding of who you really are. And then so many people are trying to pigeonhole all of this as like, oh, this is the one thing you need to do. There is no one thing. It's all of these things in combination every day, day after day, that get you to the winning game and the optimum you, that whether it's the current immune system situation going on and or any future situation, you will be as protected as much as you have all of these things handled at 100%. So, if you want some solutions, I have solutions to everything you just saw on the slide. I do nutritional counseling, I do dietary and food counseling, I also provide and offer a high quality and actually effective 5G and even EMF protection. We can talk. So here's what we're doing now with everything that's going on out there is I've gone virtual. So I'm still considered one of the essential businesses, so we are seeing patients as needed. But what's really awesome is that I've gone completely virtual, and everything that I can do for you, you can do right here. I lost my guy. I'll bump my thing. Sorry about that. So what we're offering here is a free health interview. You can go on my website at www.drloripuskar and take advantage of that. So if you're worried about anything I talked about, you have questions or concerns, it's free to get started now with our financial, our business, our economic, and our immune crisis that's going on. So please take advantage of me being around virtually. What you can also do is, if you're not ready to talk to me, or if you want a little bit more information, you can join my online academy. Right now it's free. It's kind of the, the coronavirus special, so to speak. So it's free for a limited time. If you want to know anything more about the specific subject we just talked about, I have articles, research, tips, tricks, all kinds of things for you to get started on each of the topics. So you can learn how to boost your immune system. You can learn the truth about 5G and EMFs. You can learn and understand the basics of vitamins, minerals, and herbal therapy. So you can take a look and really educate yourself on a lot of home education. So again, not a big fan of, everybody online right now being the expert from Facebook Community College. I love Facebook, but not as an educational source. So I would prefer you get the truth from my 25 years of clinical experience and then all of the articles and research with hundreds of years of scientists, doctors, and the greatest minds on the planet coming together, writing papers, creating articles that I've taken and I've kind of watered down so it's kind of in a simple English for everyone to understand and take advantage of. So there's all kinds of information that you can do in my free academy. And then everything that we're going to talk about online, we've already talked about here today, that's all available online. So you may go shop. We're running a lot of discounts and specials right now considering everything that's going on. So supplements are being shipped free no matter where you live. And then in the country, by the way, in the US, a little bit of a charge to get it out, but at least in the United States, free shipping. But we will work with you in a discount to get it outside the United States. And we're running a sale on a lot of our skincare products, our essential oils, the things you're going to want to be doing and protecting yourself against now with everything that's going on and in the future. A lot of that as much as 50% off. So again, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Regardless of anything, you have access to me virtually no matter what. So call, text, email, go online, schedule a free health interview with me, take advantage of all the education I have in my academy, shop online. If you need anything, I'm here for you. So my goal is to have you stay positive in the middle of all this. We will get through it, and I'm here to be your own personal cheerleader. Is take the proper steps, get some help from me, and let's just get through this. So thanks for watching. Good luck to you. Stay safe, stay happy and healthy, and have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Bye.